Hello, hello, how is everybody? My name is Jaime and I am the J in JLOVES, and this channel is all about sharing all of the things that I love, because if I love it, maybe you'll love it too. So if you're new to this channel or this is your first video, what we're doing for this month is we are planning our heavens on earth. Like, what? Yes, it's a real thing. And if this is your first video, you'll want to click here to to check it out, the playlist, and start at day 1. But for those who are returning, so yesterday was day 7. We went into the OolaPlanner and we took the survey to get clarity on where we are. So today we're continuing the step 1 in the OolaPlanner, and it is all about learning the hub and the valve for our wheel. And let me tell you, this part seems simple enough, but it was a little bit challenging for me. And let me show the book. Hopefully some of you guys are able to get the PDF, the $12.99 PDF on oolalife.com. And so we did the survey to get clarity on where we are, right? We got our scores, and we're gonna get our wheels and see what they look like. But before that, there's also a part where we talk about the hub. And in short, the hub is asking, what is your why that drives you to complete goals in each of the 7 categories? And you know, I kind of gone back and forth in that. I think in the end I put God, and when I say God, I really refer to God in the universe as one entity. So not, yeah. So anyhow, that's just that little note. And then it's the valve. So this is pretty interesting, and I have struggled with this. Basically, what this section does is it asks you to go through, and in your most perfect world, what are you thinking about the most, spending the most energy on, etc., etc. And you pick your top 3 of the categories and you just write them down quickly. And then you do it for the least. And let me just turn this around for a second. So why did I struggle with this so much? I struggled, Natalie had to help me, because at first I wasn't understanding that they're asking these questions from the place of your perfect world. So not how you are doing things now. So in my perfect world, in my heaven on earth, what are, as an example, what do I want to be able to think about the most? And so for me, that's like fun, field, and family. And you know, my field in terms of like sharing content and helping people and creating, you know, contributing in some way, that's also still fun. So I think those were like my top answers in the, you know, what I care about the most. So in my perfect world, what I would care, what I want to spend the least amount of time on, and etc., you have to see those questions, are things like finance. Like, I don't want to have to think about it. Finance, I just want to, you know, in ideal, I'm just incredibly abundant. I don't even have to think about money. Where somebody else might have a different type. They might just get so excited and love finance and the world of money and etc. So that might be one of theirs. And the reason why Oola is asking for this is it then asks you to list your top 2 F's that you write in the most, and then the least 2. And then you, in step 3, you basically write down 7 ways that pumping up your least 2 things that you want to spend energy on, think about, will help pump up the ones that you love. So for me, as an example, my categories that I love the most, that I would love in my ideal world to think about the most, are fun, field, and family, right? In fact, I would love to do stuff that's fun with my field, which is sharing content with my family. And the least things that I want to be spending my time on and energy on and money on and etc. are finance and fitness. So, you know, in my ideal world, and I don't know, maybe I'm changing a little bit of that. Kuma's helping me with that because Kuma Fitness and Kuma for Life, which are dance and bard, etc., I'll link below, are so amazing that makes it fun. But then I don't even think about that as fitness. But basically, they're asking you to think of how pumping up the two that you want to think about the least will pump up the top two. So of course, my two, so having strong finances will of course help me with having fun, right? Because it can empower me to be able to have fun. Also having strong finances, I can help my family in any ways that I want. Having strong fitness, of course, will help me, you know, enjoy the fun a little bit more. Having strong fitness will also make me stronger in my field because I'll have lots of energy. So it's a really cool exercise. It's not one that I've ever done on my own. So thank you again to OolaPlanner for, you know, making me kind of think out of the box, because really it's all about perspective. So Natalie is writing hers in. How are you doing, honey?
I don't know. A lot of ties.
A lot of ties? Ties in what?
Like my best one. My highest two ones.
Well, I put in 3 for me. I put in...
I have like ones that I wrote 3 times, and then a bunch that I wrote 3 times, and then one that I wrote 4 times, which is friends. So I put that.
So what are your top ones?
Well, I know my top, but they're like... I don't know yet. I gotta count them.
Okay. Okay, so she's still going at that. Is there anything else that we have to share with this? That you wanna, any points that you wanna?
Just about the valve.
About the valve and the hub, yeah.
Oh yeah, have you gone over the hub yet?
Oh, a little bit. I just spoke of it quickly. It's just basically, yeah, where you figure out of these categories, the why of why you do goals in them. And, oh, I guess I didn't. So in the hub, we have this Oola categories, and then ask yourself what drives you to complete those goals for each one. Is it for yourself, money, God, legacy, power, things, or image? And it says, do not put what you want it to be. What did you list the most? Do not put what you want to be. Like, what is it truly? And they say that this is going to change over time, and I can see that. So for fun, I put self. For fitness, this is wrong, but I didn't want to put what I want it to be. I wanted to put what it truly is, and I put image. But truthfully, I should have put self on that. Finance, I put money. Family, I put God. For field, I put legacy. Faith, I put God or self. Yeah, God. Friends, I put God, because I do feel like connected. And yeah, so the one I had the most was God. The second one was self. So yeah, so that's what that's all about. So just basically just think about what is your driving force that makes you want to do your things in life. And then, you know, you complete the valve section. So that ends up completing the Oola wheel, because you have your wheel, you know where you are, and you can see mine is pretty, it's not great. You can see it's really heavy here and it's still kind of low here, but it's a circle now where before it wasn't. And this is my hub and this is my valve. So apparently my valve is the most F's, which is fun. Like, I am all about having fun because I think work is fun. So it's also like work and fun. All right, so for today, go through and do that. And if you don't have the planner, just think about these things with the categories. Think about what your hub is. What is your purpose? What are the reasons why you do a lot of the goals that you do? And then pick, you know, that center. And then with the valve, just think of the 7 categories and think of the things that you love the most in your most perfect world. in your most perfect world, what do you think about the least and spend the least amount of energy, the least amount of money, right? The top two in both categories, and then pump up the two least, and how getting better at that will pump up your top two. And so that will complete today. And then tomorrow we're going to go into step 2 of the Oola plan. And it's all about where do you want to go. So this is going to get into the goal setting. And we're first going to probably talk all about SMART goals. And SMART goals has been around forever, I think. And so a lot of people might be familiar with it. But just in case, we're going to go through that tomorrow. So yeah, so we're still taking our time. We're going to talk about SMART goals tomorrow, and then maybe we'll also finish up and talk about this, finding your Oola 1 goal. I talked a lot about that yesterday, shared my personal story with that, so please check that out if you want to understand, you know, what it means that we're going to do with all of the 21 goals, narrowing down them to the 7 goals, and then this whole idea of the Oola 1 goal. So tomorrow, SMART goals, we'll just chat about it. So it might be a quick video, and then we're going to start diving in, and together we're going to start picking out some fitness goals. All right, Natalie, do you have anything that you want to add or say?
How do you think they should draw it? How do you think they should write everything?
In terms of?
Like in a notebook, how do you think they should draw it?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Maybe they should list right now, rank these 7 things 1 through 7, and then ideal world, rank it 1 through 7 right next to it.
Yes, I like that.
Maybe rank like, what do you think is like the best that you're at right now? Like, what do you think you're succeeding at the most? And then 1 through 7. And then, I don't even know, you could just make different, maybe.
Well, it's not about success, right?
Yeah, but like, or which ones do you focus on the most now?
Yeah.
And which ones do you want to focus on the most?
Good point, sweetheart. Thank you. This is why she's the genius behind it. So if you're doing this in a notebook, and what you would want to do is get a piece of paper, and so write down the 7 Oola categories, and literally just do that. Here, let me pull this back. So write down well, actually first for the hub, just think about your 7 categories. So maybe you can even make a wheel like this, right? Actually, just screenshot this. I don't think OolaPlanner will mind, because hopefully we all go to them if and when we can get that $12.99 or the planner, or just look at all their other services and whatnot. But yeah, so you basically figure out what drives you. So again, just put in a wheel, figure out what is driving you. Is it self, money, God, legacy, power, things, or image? And then whichever one you write the most, you put in the center. And then on the same page, maybe write in the valve. And just look at the 7 categories and write one column where you think about, you know, what's your most favorite thing in here. The top 2 or 3 things that, or actually no, the top 2 things that if you had it your way, it's what you would spend the most time and energy on. And then write the 2 things, the 2 categories that you would spend the least amount of time, again, in your most perfect world. And then write down 7 ways of pumping up your 2 lowest values how it will benefit your 2 highest values. So hopefully that's not too confusing, and maybe, and ideally, hopefully a lot of people are able to grab that PDF. And to be honest, if you cannot grab that PDF for $12.99 and you want to follow along, drop me a comment or send me a message. If you're a friend or family that knows me, let me know and let me see what I can do, because I believe in us and we're gonna make it happen. So that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Now you want to say bye?
Bye, Missy.